I'm fading in and it hurts. Hey everybody, it's me, Reed. And this is a little bit of a different video because I haven't done one of these in a while and definitely not with my face on the camera, but we're gonna look through some stuff that I bought today at Goodwill. Yeah. Just as a disclaimer, since we're living in the end times, I did wear a mask, of course, social distance, everybody was wearing a mask, everybody was social distancing. Basically, nobody was being an asshole. So, with that being said, let's look at some stuff! So, starting off, we've got two records. The first is this Disney Great Violin Concertos album from 1967. And inside, there's this really neat illustrated book that goes sort of through the history of the different people involved in making certain instruments, what they are today. And I don't really know anything about this kind of stuff, so to find it in a record, and a Disney record at that, it's pretty cool. I haven't given it a listen yet, but it's in good shape, and yeah, it's a neat thing to find. The other record I got was 1776, the musical. I've been collecting musical theater records for a while. I've probably got almost 100 of them. Most of them I've never heard the musicals or heard of the musicals before, but this is definitely one I have heard of, 1776. And yeah, it's pretty great. It's the first Broadway cast, and I don't know what else to say. It's a cool record, and if you know the musical, then it's definitely a good one to have. Right? Moving on, we've got these three Golden Book illustrated dictionaries. This is, well, one is number 2, then 3, and then 6. And these are the only ones of these that I have in this form factor. I believe I have a couple other similar Golden Book dictionary type books with this sort of binding. But I definitely didn't have these, and they're pretty neat. They were originally published in the 50s. These are later edition copies from the 60s, but of course I had to grab them because I just love the illustrations in them. They're so quaint and old-timey, and they're in pretty good shape. Of course, this one's got a bent page, but we'll forgive that. And yeah, I love this kind of illustration. This era of books is right up my alley for collecting, if it wasn't obvious already. And yeah, to have 3 of them in a set, I mean, from a collector's standpoint, you can't go wrong. Another older book is Let's Find Out About School, which I believe was published in 1961. Yep. And it's a very simple book about figuring out what school is. I imagine the age range for this is probably 5 or 6 years old at the latest, or oldest, I guess. And yeah, I'm really a fan of the art style in this and the simplicity. It's a vocabulary book for younger kids, and I don't know, you just can't go wrong with this kind of thing. I might even be covering this in a video in the future, so if you want to see it, go ahead and let me know. Picked up a copy of Cheerleaders, The Third Evil, in the R.L. Stine Fear Street series. I've got quite a few of these. I did not have this one. It's got a little bit of wear and tear to it, but it kind of adds to the charm of these 90s soft cover printings. I have not read a single one of these, admittedly. I've read a lot of Goosebumps, but not these. And they're basically like young adult, more older focused Goosebump type books. And anytime I find one, my heart soars. And oh, look at that. This one belonged to Nina. But now it belongs to Mina. See what I did? Okay, I'm going to try to show these off without killing anybody who's wearing headphones because of the crackling paper. But I have found these really cool a set of 3 old Halloween blow-ups from 1989. Still sealed in, relatively really good shape. You can see this one here is a ghost. Quintessential Halloween, am I right? I am a real fan of finding old Halloween ornamentation, decorations that are still in the package. And, some people might think, okay, well, are you going to open it or are you going to leave it in the package? I'm obviously leaving it in the package, but not because I want to resell it or anything. I'm a big fan of how these old packages were crafted, and the whole aesthetic of Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, so that naturally appeals to me. It reminds me of going into Party City when I was a kid, and I just love these things. So I've got the ghost, I've got the witch here, which actually just looks like some kind of cucumber style witch. It's like a black eggplant wearing a wearing a witch's hat with a really weird nose. And they all seem to be in pretty good shape. They are not melted together or anything. Obviously, I'm never going to really blow them up. At least I don't plan on it. But finding them together and like for so cheap, like $1 each, in July of all times, it just makes me so happy. So, big fan of these, but the Ghost is definitely my favorite. We got some dinosaur books, starting with Discover the Jurassic World in this like enormous book. Definitely the biggest dinosaur book I have. They're actually like right over there in the shelf there. This ain't gonna fit. And this is a really cool illustrated, just, I don't know what you want to call it, collection, basically. I mean, it is a dictionary in a sense. It's got all types of different dinosaurs, ones I've never even heard of. And I've heard of quite a few. Like, I got a Triceratops and a T-Rex in there, and I know others, but I'm not going to, like, flaunt that in front of you. But yeah, this is just a cool book to have, and it's from the 90s. 90s dinosaurs are, like, my favorite dinosaurs, so we got this one. And I have already actually covered this in another video back on the channel, but these Jurassic Park styled, like, theme park lore type books, I have this one already. They're actually over here with the dinosaur books, duh. But they're pretty cool books, and I grabbed this one in case in the future, like, I want to give it to somebody, or maybe if somebody has the others and doesn't have this one, I can, I guess, sell it to them. I mean, I do resell books on my Etsy page. But it's cool, and, you know, I don't see these as often as you might think. I've even seen some in antique stores, so had to grab it. Also, it's my man Triceratops. Can you blame me? Getting down to the end here, but this is Hidden Worlds. It is one of the books for young explorers from the National Geographic Society. I'm actually going to be having a video come out on one of these pretty soon. Look at that plug. But yeah, I have a lot of these, at least 30 or 40 of them, and they are delightful 80s, 70s books, just about different topics. And this one happens to be about lots of small and big things. Looking at things through microscopes, looking at things through telescopes. I mean, it's cool. I mean, look at that. That's an ant, and I don't know about you, but I never seen one that close, and now I got one book that has that in it, and that's a thing I own. Also, it smells like mothballs, and that's not something you find very often. It's pretty potent. Speaking of books I sell, I Spy, because I've got the entire collection, and I've got all of the shiny variants of the collection. And so this one's probably going to go up on the Etsy page pretty soon. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can probably check the description. I think I put it down there. It's also on the YouTube page and on wereedbooks.com. But yeah, I mean, come on. I Spy, it's my favorite book series of all time. Walter Wick, such an inspiration to me. I really need to do a video on his books eventually. I just got to make sure that I do it the justice that it deserves. Because this is a great series. And this book in it, I Spy Mystery, no different. And you thought the Halloween stuff was over. No. I actually collect these old school pails. These just plastic pails. This one's from Walmart. You know, they're usually like 50 cents to $1. I grab them. I have, I think, 4 or 5 others in different colors and different faces. It's just one of the many things that I like to fill my space with. They're fun to hang up. You can put lights in them and stuff. I just really enjoy them. So to find these out in the wild, always fun. But I gotta admit, this one's way cooler. This is a plug-in-the-wall with a little light inside style jack-o'-lantern. And the date on this one, it actually does have a date, is 1993. And interestingly about this one, and go figure, I collect these as well, because what don't I collect? It seems to me that somebody, like, repainted this with a reddish paint. And you can see, like, it's chipped off a little bit here. I just never have experienced that with the traditional orange-colored ones that I've had in my family and that we found out in our travels. But at the bottom of this one, it looks like somebody just missed a little bit of the paint there. And I don't know, if somebody actually did take the time to repaint this and spray paint it, definitely spray painted. I don't know, I just appreciate that a lot. And just a sec, I gotta show you what it looks like. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how well that's picking up on the camera, but that is a really bright red, old-school fluorescent bulb in there. And, Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? I think I'm gonna name him George. And the last thing that I found today is this copy of Le Petit Prince, which is a really well-known story. I mean, I find so many things that I don't even know what they are when I pick them up. They're just cool to me, but this is one that I already knew about. It was in my wheelhouse of really good kids' books. And I flipped it open and noticed that it was printed in 1943. And that is apparently the first year that this book was actually printed. That is, it's the year of publication, basically. It says printed in the United States of America, copyright 1943, and it's in French, which is really interesting. It's an American copy that is printed completely in French. So I need to do a lot more research on this book. It was apparently in a library nearby, but it's apparently valuable, which is great whenever that happens. Not that I plan to resell this. This is definitely one that I'm going to hold on to. But it's an old 1943 copy of a very well-known book, and that just makes my collector's heart sing, because these are the kind of things that you look for if you're looking for older books. You look for these like well-known titles. So definitely jazzed to have this one, and if I ever find anything else out about it, it'll be in a video. But yeah, I wanted to share it with you, and I wanted to share all this stuff with you because it's been a long time since I got to do one of these. And with that, I think that is it. Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us today, friends. Thank you very much for watching and looking through all this stuff that I found today with me together here. I do hope that you enjoyed it, and I would encourage you to give the kids' books section a look the next time you're in your local Goodwill or thrift store or whatever you have, because you can truly find some really great stuff there. My rule of thumb is if they don't know what to do with it, they put it in the kids' books section. It just seems to be the way things are. I hope that you'll check us out at wereedbooks.com and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at wereedbooks to see more stuff like this in the future. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching, friends, and I do hope that you will join me the next time we read something together. Ta-ta.